Today I want to show you my failed attempt at attempting to make a steak and cheese stromboli. Epic fail. I start off by cutting up my two personal favorites, a little bit of green pepper, a little bit of onion. I generally slice them down into small cubes for everything. Don't ask me, don't judge me. Then in my mind I was thinking, stromboli, steak and cheese, melting everything together, green peppers and onions, dip it in a little bit of a Worcestershire dipping sauce afterwards instead of marinara. But what I created was here I'm slicing up my onion. I cut off the corner, peel off the skin, cut it into small squares, place it on its side on the piece you flattened out, and that's how you make a quick cubed onion. And if you ever try this, it's really easy, and as you can see, perfect little small squares of the onion, done in like a minute. You want to start a frying pan with a light amount of oil for sauteing the peppers, and of course I took a frying pan and started up the steakums. Oops, a bit of smoking fire there. And for the seasoning, I cannot deny I've been on a Montreal steak seasoning kick. It's a perfect blend between spice, bite, and savory that any beef I've been placing it on. You gotta try it yourself. You might be surprised how good it tastes. I try to season generously, then put more in, then season again, making sure that everything, especially for the amount of food I'm making, all of it got seasoned. Which of course, later on in the video, you can see my mistakes I made when trying to make too much steak. And once your saute pan is good and screaming hot, now's a good time to toss in your green peppers, onions, and mushrooms. You want a good caramelizing sear on them, but you don't want to burn them. And as you can see, mine was incredibly hot. And a little more fire. I was drunk, I admit it. Begin sauteing them down to a golden brown. Now's a good time to begin working your dough. While the sauteing is going on, I cleaned off my table, put a little flour down, my pre-made dough I made earlier. Now I'm going to roll it out. Now I enjoy a thin crust, and this is where I made my mistake, because I keep trying at making a thin dough. But for the amount of steak and peppers I made, a thin dough just won't cut it. But nevertheless, you can watch me roll out the dough a little bit and instead of making people watch all the way through all of this, I do a lot of fast forward, a lot of cutting, so you can get through the boring stuff. Here's the dough partially ready. And in hindsight, I can see how drunk it was, because I didn't need to play with the dough as much as I was there. But I roll it out as best I can, cut off a section if it's too thick to make a solid line. Re-roll it, add it back into the dough, and then keep rolling. My greatest mistake was I was trying to make too much meat and too thin of a dough, which caused the stromboli to peel and break. Start off with a generous layer of mozzarella / provolone cheese. You wanted to coat the entire bottom so it can act as a glue for the rest once it's heated. You want to make sure that you want to leave about a 1-inch square along the edges of the dough. Next, pour in your steak, trying to cover every square inch as possible without overlapping heavily. You want to coat the cheese the best you can with steak until you almost see no cheese. Next comes my sauteed down onions, green peppers, and mushrooms. And right about here is where the non-drunk Steve said you should have stopped. But drunk Steve said, let's keep making it. So I went back, got another pound of cheese, plenty of steak still in there, and a little bit of pepper still left over in there. And I kept building on the stromboli. In hindsight, putting in about 2 to 3 pounds of shaved steak was probably a very bad idea, but I was drunk. So as you can see in the video, including me eating the small pieces, I felt, God, I was incredibly drunk. That the stromboli itself, the dough was too thin to support this weight, but I kept adding on because it looked too good. Now another mound of cheese on top. Yeah, I was drunk. And don't get me wrong, the stromboli still tasted great. It was just too big. It was too big to lift. It was too big to roll. Because it was trying to, with a very thin layer of crust, hold about 3 pounds or more of meat. Here's my attempt at actually rolling it. The dough began sticking to the table even though I put down flour. And that's where it started getting bad. And that's where it started sticking heavily. And now I'm looking like a gigantic elephant tumor. And as you can see, it is already beginning to break in certain spots. I was unable to get the big thing off the table. And when I lifted it up, everything shifted on the inside. I should have put it on the pan first. But I was drunk. So let us continue on. As you can see, I'm trying to lift the dough off the table without ripping it. Skip ahead. Put it on the pan. You can see it's already beginning to rip because the bread is just too thin. Here I'm trying to reform it to look more like what it's supposed to do. Finally, I just went with it. Tossed on a little bit of pre-made Italian style pizza seasoning. I chucked that big monster in the oven. Oh, by the way, preheat your oven to like 420 degrees for 20 minutes. And here's the result. Tastes great. Fell apart.